Hi everyone, starting into week 8 discussion. Some information that I found really interesting was the 10 leadership theories in 5-minute video, talking about 10 different ways of leadership, trait theory, skill theory, style theory, which is laissez-faire and autocratic, and transactional transformative leadership. But the one that I personally thought that was a good middle ground and one that could be beneficial is theory of situational, which is the situation is about the leader adapting to the environment and what is going on, rather than the employee having to adjust to the manager or the situation, and or the manager trying to control what's going on so that situation doesn't happen, which I think is better, just because I feel like a lot of managers micromanage and are on top of everything to make sure that certain things don't happen, and that just is more stressful for the employees because they know if it does, their manager might not take it well, or that the employee might be alone in having to resolve the situation, or nothing gets resolved at all. So I like that one. And then the second question is, what theory of leadership is most appealing to you? I said the most appealing leadership would be to be servant leadership. I believe that this one's the best one because it's a win-win for both parties. Managers prioritize their employees' needs and what they need and have open communication, and managers will support their employees no matter what kind of situation comes, instead of managers looking out for themselves, looking out for number one, and just having like an kind of attitude towards those employees of like, if they have an issue, like, I'm gonna half-ass it kind of thing. And this kind of leadership creates trust, creates cooperation, which in turn brings high performance to employees, creating reciprocal services, as in if the manager asks for maybe a certain service that's out of their position, out of their role, they're more willing to do it because they know that their manager is behind them, and they know their manager is worth the extra work, because they know that their work is valued. I feel like that's the reason that they would be willing to do stuff like that. So question 3 is, reflect upon example from your life, good and bad leadership, analyze what made those leaders bad or good. So an example I think of good leadership would be, I had my boss that I had from the nursing home previously. She was stern about how she wanted things to be done, but she also was very supportive, as well as help with any work that needed to be done. She didn't worry about how things needed to be done her way. As long as we did the work, she was willing to help. It didn't exactly have to be done at a precise time, at a precise way, or it wasn't good enough for her. She was more about us just learning and getting stuff done and being the most effective. And like, you just knew that like if something went wrong, like she would be there. And then a bad manager, I've had a few. I've had many that over the years I've said that aren't well. But I feel like a bad manager that I've had is that they were rude in their managing style. Of they would pick favorites, not share the workload among all the employees properly. They would help certain people, obviously people that were their favorites, and they would micromanage the people that they didn't like and nitpick about how they did things, which I did not like at all. which happened when one of my bosses left and I stayed and another boss came on board, so they would like be nitpicking and stuff. Also, just getting mad over things that felt more personal than business or more towards the job. Maybe their personal life was affecting them. So that stuff just made, all those stuff combined just made work so toxic to be in and not create a good work relationship, and just made things be much, much worse than they needed to be. And that's about it for this week.